Connect on social media. Connect on Facebook and Twitter. Connect with iPower One Nation. Stay connected with iPower One.
From the Hard Planet Media Studios in New York, this is iPower 2 This Moment.
Police say by taking thousands of dollars worth of guns, drugs, and ammunition off the street, they have made the city a safer place. Take a look at some of the contraband they seized from a house in the North End, which included an AK-47 assault rifle and a 30-round magazine, along with other firearms and 11 grams of heroin. Police also seized several bags of marijuana, but said they're withholding the details of the raid pending the outcome of their investigation. Police Chief A.J. Perez showed us how AK-47 rounds pierce the body armor that officers wear, which is why getting assault rifles off the street, he said, is a top priority.
There's a tremendous amount of guns out there on the street, and they're coming from everywhere. But rest assured, we are working day and night, and we want to keep our city safe. We want to keep our kids safe, and we're doing everything in our power to make it happen.
Police say they've arrested one suspect but will not release his name until they've completed their investigation. We will follow this story and keep you updated. In Bridgeport, Frank Recchia, News 12, Connecticut.
For weeks, we've been telling you about NYCHA no-heat issues, trying to get to the bottom of why tens of thousands of rent-paying residents often live without basic services. Last night, we held a Street Soldiers Town Hall in the South Bronx so residents could make their voices heard. Now, residents and resident council leaders from more than a dozen public housing developments came out with local youth and concerned elected officials to talk about ways to solve the persistent problems facing NYCHA residents. Problems like no heat or hot water and urgent repairs that are not made, broken promises, and dangerous health issues like lead and mold exposure. We invited the mayor and NYCHA to attend, or at the very least send representatives, but they were all no-shows. Two of our panelists who grew up in public housing say it's time to take the issues to NYCHA and City Hall.
NYCHA has a pattern of closing complaints without actually solving them. And that's the problem.
Where's NYCHA's office building now?
250 Broadway.
We going down to NYCHA.
All right.
Well, Lisa, I'm dead serious. I'm about to organize a march. We going down to NYCHA, and let's let our voices be heard at NYCHA.
There we go. All right.
And I'm going to lend my time, and I'm going to go with y'all, and I'm going to lead it with y'all. We're going to go down there. We're going to let NYCHA know we got a few issues up here in the Bronx. That's for sure.
Now, we had a lot of support for the town hall from Hot 97, who helped us get the word out and provide refreshments, to the hit web series Project Heat, which is based in the Pink Houses, to our event host, the Bronx Works community organization, which empowers Bronx residents to live their best lives possible.
We support, we teach, we feed, we shelter, and by doing so, we provide them with platforms and places like the Pyramid for these neutral grounds to have discussions that talk about everything, everyday life that they may be going through. So I think this was the best place for it to be done. I think BronxWorks was the best people to help support the needs of the people. And that's what.
And Mayor de Blasio has pledged more than $200 million for new boilers and repairs, but many are skeptical about the timeline and the amount, which they say is a drop in the bucket.
Apparently not an accident, allegedly intentional. Hightstown police tell News 4 that the device that was responsible for the evacuation of this entire school this morning was deliberately designed to cause alarm, and it certainly did. Students ordered to exit their classrooms, many leaving their belongings behind, standing out in the cold, some only in their gym clothes.
I thought it was a drill, and then we kept going. They kept pushing the students back further and further away from the school.
But it wasn't just a drill. The school district posting the evacuation on its website at 9:44, stating a suspicious device was discovered in a student bathroom. The police are currently investigating the situation.
Did I think, possibly it could be a bomb? Yeah.
Not only local police, but the state police bomb squad and canine units from surrounding jurisdictions conducting a sweep of the entire building. Students put on buses and taken to another school to wait, not knowing what, if anything else, would be found.
But then when everyone started getting on buses, I was like, this is serious.
I wasn't really scared because the teachers really kept it all together really well.
The all clear not declared until almost 3 hours later. The district posting, Hightstown police deemed the building safe. The device initially discovered in the bathroom was not a threat and were actually suspiciously constructed computer parts that could not pose danger. The evacuated students bused back to the campus to finish out the school day that was anything but normal.
Why would there be a computer part in the bathroom? Why anyone has computer parts in the school or anything like that? But I'm just glad that no one got hurt and that it wasn't actually serious.
And fortunately, no one did. And what police and all of those unnecessarily alarmed would like to know about this is who did it and why they did it. Right now, police say they have no person and no motive, but they are taking this very seriously. In Hightstown, I'm Roseanne Coletti, News 4 New York.
This latest case involving a girl who lived here. She went to bed here last night, woke up here this morning, but did not make it out of the hospital. The 8-year-old girl lived at the new Lafrac City apartment complex in Corona, Queens, and was taken to Elmhurst Hospital around 6:30 this morning after she had trouble breathing and suffered from what's been described as flu-like symptoms. She passed away soon after.
It's very sad, yes, very sad.
It's not immediately known if the girl had the flu vaccine or suffered from other ailments, but city health officials say it's an important reminder of the importance of getting the flu shot and taking proper precautions against a seasonal threat that can affect people of any age. Shakundra Shah, father of a 2-year-old, lives in the same development as the 8-year-old who passed away.
To take a flu shot too, I guess, and my wife too.
Today's news comes on the same day the city health department confirmed another child had died from the flu in recent days. That now brings the flu death toll for city kids up to 2, as neighbors around here reflect on another life cut way too short.
They advised me to do my flu shot every on October, November, instead of January, February.
But if you have waited, unlike that lady you just heard from there, doctors say it's not too late. The flu season will run for several more weeks at least. We're live in Corona, Queens tonight. I'm Gus Rosendale, News 4 New York.
It was quite the plot these two men allegedly tried to carry out today, kidnapping and ransom, but it didn't work out. And so today in court, their family members appeared to see them on video from jail.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Before a judge today, two men appearing via video, one at a time, to hear the charges against them.
Kidnapping.
Family members tearing up in the back. Prosecutors say 20-year-old Randall Olivio Rondon and 22-year-old Luis Romero tried to kidnap a man and his wife, demanding a $7,000 ransom or they would be killed.
Yeah, everybody's scared. They see that situation.
Folks in Passaic were disturbed to hear the details. The victims were walking near Main Street in Autumn Saturday night when they were allegedly approached by the two suspects. One had a gun, and police say they both demanded the man and his wife get in the car. She managed to get away, but he was kidnapped, according to investigators. While in the car, the suspects took the man's wallet and chain, then they let him go, demanding he return with $7,000 or else he and his wife would be killed. But the victim called police instead. They arranged a meetup location. Police say Rondon and Romero thought they were going to get the money. Instead, they got handcuffs and a trip to jail. Rondon and Romero are both from the Bronx. Unclear what they were doing in Passaic. Their family members did not want to comment on their behalf. Both men are due back in court on Thursday. Reporting live from Patterson, Ida Siegel, News 4, New York.
Drunk driving is a problem in itself and one that the NYPD seems to be constantly enforcing. But there's another issue in this area, according to residents: speeding. And now they're demanding the New York City Department of Transportation to do something about that. Advocating on their behalf, New York City Council member Richie Torres, who met with those community members. The lawmaker also spoke with us today about proposed safety enhancements he has been discussing with DOT. Now, this all comes after police say suspected drunk driver Andres Mayora killed driver Shaquan Dunn in a multi-car crash at the intersection early Saturday morning. Councilman Torres says he's been actively in touch with the Department of Transportation, who tells him it is conducting a traffic study on the area to see how it can make the intersection safer.
Even with the DWI, we have concerns about the lack of safety on the intersection of Burke and Bronx Park East. As you can see, you have speeding cars from 3 directions. It's a wide street, and so given the width of the street and given the multiplicity of speeding cars, we've asked DOT to install a traffic light. DOT has agreed to conduct a feasibility study, but the process is painfully long and bureaucratic, and as far as I'm concerned, when it's a matter of life and death, we should be willing to expedite the process.
Now, Torres tells us that the Department of Transportation most likely will not be installing speed bumps on these roads because, as he mentioned, the width of the street. Now, community members here are also calling for more runs from the NYPD in the area to enforce Vision Zero's 25-mile-per-hour signs. Community members are also asking for more lighting at this intersection because they say when the sun goes down, it is far too dark. We've also reached out to the New York City Department of Transportation for a statement on this matter. We're waiting to hear back. That's the latest here in Allerton. Anthony Carlo, News 12 The Bronx.
Cameron Wallace stands charged in the shooting death of 16-year-old Sinclair Williams, and both families in court today with the judge determining the next steps in this case. As we've reported, Wallace is accused of firing several shots outside Maestro's catering hall in Morris Park back on December 28th. Williams, who was leaving a party at the catering hall, was fatally struck by one of those bullets. A 17-year-old was also wounded in the shooting, but thankfully survived. Now Williams' family members tell us they want justice. Inside, I was speaking to Sinclair's mother, Stephanie. She says she never imagined she'd be in this position. She says her son's murder is like living in a nightmare. They say they want the defendant to receive the full sentence for taking a life, and they make it clear that they will be at every court proceeding moving forward. The next time the defendant will be in court is set for February 20th. Outside the Bronx County Courthouse, Tori Singer.
Markets rebound, or will the sell-off continue today on Wall Street? On Monday, the Dow plunged by nearly 1,600 points, the biggest intraday point drop in history, finishing more than 1,000 points lower. Investors are concerned about inflation and rising interest rates. Lululemon's CEO has stepped down. The company says Laurent Potvin resigned after unspecified behavior that didn't meet the company's standards. He's been CEO since 2014. Lululemon's now looking for a new leader. And it's been 7 years since Elon Musk first announced plans to build a Falcon Heavy rocket, and today's liftoff. The Falcon Heavy is scheduled to launch from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Musk says the Falcon Heavy is the world's most powerful operational rocket and could send humans to the moon or even Mars. And that's your Cheddar Business and Tech Update. I'm Jill Wagner from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
With a bright lick of paint, new lighting and furniture, plus a brand new air conditioning system, the Marcy Library finally reopened its doors.
I just love it. It's beautiful.
It was a renovation 18 months and $1.5 million in the making. But for Andrea Jackson, it was worth the wait and every penny.
It's a dream come true for me and my grandkids and for the community. We waited 2 years for this, and I am so happy.
And these first graders are pretty excited too. Their new play area comes with an interactive activity wall. And the space doesn't just look better. Many patrons tell me they're most excited about these 7 new computers with internet access.
I'll be able to build my website and do all that I need to do to build my business to grow.
The library, a lifeline for many in the area.
A lot of adults come here for adult literacy classes, as well as resume writing and those kinds of things. So this is a critical function.
The new AC system sorely needed.
It was actually
actually too warm in the summer to operate.
We're going to have the air conditioning for the seniors and for whoever needs to be cool. It's going to be much better. It's not going to be a hot box.
Patrons were able to use a mobile library and nearby branches during the renovation. But for Jackson, that was no match for their own space.
We're going to be coming here more often, every day just about.
In Bed-Stuy, Naomi Choi-Smith, News 12, Brooklyn.
Weather update all across New York City. All right, radar loop in motion, and we've got this big mess now overspreading the tri-state, including New York City, and starting to see some bouts of some wet snow, some sleet, the whole mixed bag the next few hours. So it's going to be dicey here for travel across the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan. And after that, just some plain rain coming in as warmer air works in towards about midday and afternoon. Right now, though, temperature is still kind of holding 30s and just near the freezing point. So this means whatever falls from the sky could certainly cause some slick conditions. There'll be some sleet, some freezing rain for a bit, but quickly going to rain as temps get back to the 40s by afternoon. So watch the visibility, present weather. You'll see the type of weather we're seeing right now, and watch how things change for the afternoon. Any mix of some snow and sleet goes to rain pretty quickly by about midday. Temps eventually some low to mid 40s. Could be a quick coating to an inch or two, but this will wash away quickly. Throughout tonight, the rain ends, clearing and breezy overnight. Could be a few icy spots, some mid to upper 20s from Flatbush, Parkchester getting into Manhattan. The winds will go northwest, and a dry, breezy, cold day coming up for Thursday. Here's that big mess across the eastern seaboard. It's moving pretty steadily. Again, more inland track means it's not snow for us. This is mostly a rain deal. See our futurecast as we go throughout mid to late morning. Yeah, we got some mixed bag on there of rain and sleet and some snow, and just like that, the blue and the pink goes north into the Hudson Valley. So look at all the yellow on there. Got some heavy bouts of rain. There could be some localized flooding for the afternoon, maybe a rumble of thunder towards the evening. And before that, though, we get that mix, maybe a coating to an inch or two. This will wash away quickly, so nothing much to shovel, but just watch for the rain for the afternoon. We get some nice sunshine, cold day for Thursday, 34, 38 for Friday, and then warming up again. We got some 40s to near 50s Saturday, Sunday. Better chance of rain will be on Sunday.